lined up on the grid as they wait for the lights to go out. The revs are building. Let's go racing!
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Everybody's doing a brand new dance
G'day everyone, welcome back to Wheel Racing. We're here tonight for Split 2, Round 5 of our 12-round calendar at the Red Bull Ring. And it is one of our sprint rounds, so we have a 3-race format tonight. It's going to be 2 10-minute races, one of those being in the wet, followed up by a 40-minute 25-lap run that has a mandatory vehicle tyre use. So a lot of strategy comes in that last race, but we've got 2 very interesting sprint races to start it off. Joining me here tonight in the commentary box is Fixer Chris.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, let's hope for a really interesting one, especially with the wet race that we have. Should be a good one.
Absolutely. And tonight on the visuals we have Hammy.
Good day everyone. Yes, we'll have a good race. Hope we have a good race tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, the wet is definitely going to play a massive role here. We do have wet qualifying with our first race being in the wet as well. So what type of times are you expecting to see out of these guys, Chris?
Well, I'm just going to base it off of Split 1. I think Paul was somewhere in the low 148s. So I'll be expecting around mid 148 to low 149s. Should be reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's a decent call. We've got a couple of really quick guys who can interchange with the bottom half of Split 1 fairly easily, I reckon. So obviously we have the thing going where we call this pretty much Split 1.5 with how close the times are getting together as well. So it should be very, very competitive here tonight.
Yes, and that's what we really love to see every week here in Wheel to Wheel.
And quali will be kicking off shortly as the timer begins. Everyone's going to be taking a nice deep breath before going for their hot laps here.
Yep.
It's really interested to see what kind of times these guys can get.
A deep breath, it is full concentration needed for this qualifying lap and the race. As the cars...
Jonesy is going to lead us out of the pits here. By a long way too, you got a massive run out of the pit lane where everyone else has caught him sleeping out of the pit box. So yeah, Jonesy from 13R leading the field around at the moment, followed by... muddled up still at the moment.
Yep, it's Disco Stew, I think.
Disco Stew showing as number 8 at the moment, number 9. So in the privateer entry, had the pleasure of racing against Disco Stew last round. Was really good close racing from him. So.
And good news, the leaderboard has corrected itself. And following behind Disco Stew is Evil 177, who I should mention did a fantastic 720 at Suzuka. And we also have Queensland Devil Racer representing Flat Out Racing.
Yep, just behind Queensland Devil is Bozza 777 in the beautiful Barbie Girl V-Corsa machine, followed by Cyclone Dan, member of OGR and Team Low and Slow.
And following Cyclone Dan is Ripdog Ed 69, also representing Flat Out Racing. And following him is Muffin Your Mum, representing a new team entry as well, Scuderia Portfolio. I'm also part of that team anyway, by the way.
Yep, behind them is Untouchables 911 in the Frosties machine, part of the Serial Killers, and following him around is Mackajack in the Privateer entry.
Side note, appreciate the social distance decal there. Following him is Broken Spoke 9, representing Team 13R. And Eutrolic Straw following him, now a privateer.
Yes.
Rounding up the field is Gimpman 74.
Alright, and on that note, we'll jump up into the guy currently driving around in 4th, and Chris is going to talk you through a quali lap.
Oh, actually, Queensland Devil is really close behind Evil One here. I don't know if that is an ideal situation. Yes, he'll get the slipstream, but I don't know. In wet lap qualifying, clean air is sometimes better. But anyway, coming into turn 3 or turn 2, whatever you call it, it's confusing for us commentators. Braking at 150 meter board. So in the wet, the braking point is 50 meters back of where you usually brake in the dry. Get a bit squirrely at the exit there. Now he has the benefit of the slipstream. Coming into turn 4, you want to brake just before the 150 meter board. Keep it smooth with the steering as Queensland Devil runs a bit wide at the exit. Coming towards the infield section, braking can be done between 150 meter board. And again, just turn it really smoothly and be gentle with the throttle at the exit. Honestly, for this left-hander, it's a bit of a gut feeling of where you brake. And then keep it steady. Don't want to mash the throttle too much when the car's on the curbs. And then coming to turn 9, this will be a penalty hotspot because of the exit runoff. But Queensland Devil keeps it nice and tidy in the track. Coming to the last corner, run wide at the exit to maximize exit speed, and let's see what time he sets.
Had to delay throttle input a whole lot there, it did Devil.
Yeah.
Too, so a rough lap. He was very close behind Evil One at the start. As some times roll through, Jonesy, our current pole sitter, with a 49.666.
That is
just
fantastic.
behind him is ripped up with a 49.8. So a couple of guys dipping into the high 49s with some really decent first laps there.
As I just saw Untouchables spun at the exit of turn 1.
That will be Untouchables qualifying over. No higher than 7th for him will be available, and is really struggling to get going again as well.
What happened to Gimpman? 2
also
minutes.
Comes through, yeah, 2:01. So he has not had the best outlap either.
I saw another spinner in Boza, so that's his qualifying over as well.
Well, Spoke almost followed him around in the exact same corner. Very, very tricky to get the power down coming out of that in the wet.
It is very, very tricky. And what's more interesting is, after race 1, they have to reacclimatize to the dry situation for race 2. But that's still to come, so let's just get back to this qualifying session. Let's see if there are any improvements.
So Jonesy is about 4/10 off, so looking for about a 50 flat. Not going to be an improvement out of him.
Did I just see purple out of... I think I saw purple from Cyclone Dan. He's at a purple sector 2.
So Cyclone Dan could be one to watch. We won't be seeing an improvement from Jonesy as he comes across the line. Disco Stew looks to be on a decent lap here as well. Very, very patient getting that power down. It's going to be
149.
close. Disco Stew goes second. Evil One with a 49.8 improves as well. Devil goes with a 50.9. Dan with a 49 flat. That is a cracker of a time from Dan.
Wow, purple by half a second.
I think the only person we might see improve here, Throllic goes with a 51. We'll see Gitman improve definitely. No improvement out of Smurf. Gitman coming to the line now with a 50.1, good enough for 7. Dropping Touchy down into 8th, but Cyclone Dan taking pole by a long way.
That is a cracker of a time.
That is an amazing lap out of Dan there. So.
Yeah, really amazing. Now, time for another tricky part of this race, to get the launch perfectly.
Yeah, so for myself, I put it in about 2nd gear and held it at around half throttle until the car kind of gripped up a little bit and then mashed it, but I did not practice many
Who are we
launches.
going on board with, boys?
Well, I reckon Evil One's one to watch here, out of 5th. the
Oh,
line.
no,
Jonesy looked very slow there.
Looked like a jump start penalty to me, but yeah, really slow start
Oh,
from
they're
Jonesy.
4 wide as we approach turn 1. Gimman has made his way up into 4th off the start there, so
Amazing job from Gimman.
Runs quite wide, gets pushed back out and down into 6th place, down into 7th as Spoke goes past him, and they're 3 wide behind.
And now it's
he's
2 by 2.
absolutely
Broken
just
Spoke,
walked
enthralling,
away.
untouchables. Hang on a second. Wow, this midfield is so crowded.
There is a lot going on in that midfield, and they have done very well to avoid some chaos into turn 3 there.
Oh, Queensland
Oh,
Devil.
Gitman!
Oh, Gitman! It's a bit of some bit of trouble. And Smurf was the receiving end.
Oh, that's very unlucky for Smurf there. He gave Gitman a helping hand and stopped him from spinning, and it ended up costing him about 3 seconds to the field, unfortunately. But that midfield is still very crowded up in that 6th and 7th area. You've
really
got
crowded.
Broken Spoke having a nice battle. Devil's just dipped a tyre into the dirt, so Mackajack is going to slip on past him for 9th place as well.
Yep, that's easy 9th, and that gives 10th place to Queensland Devil. I think everyone is in single file right now.
It only took him half a lap, but we got there eventually.
But it is a wet race, so anything can happen. It is very unpredictable.
Absolutely, you have to be so careful on that loud pedal as well. It looks like Gimman has had some more dramas as well, as he's fallen back behind Smurf by over a second as well, so
Either
not a good
Gitman-
run for Gitman there.
Either Gitman made a mistake or just tried to redress his
The battle
mistake.
for 4th right now, sorry. Evil One and Disco Stew side by side into the last corner. That's going to open the door for Frolic to get a run. Well,
And-
so 4th place being very heavily contested right now, and the top
Yep.
3 is streaming away.
Yeah, I was going to say, that allows the top 3 to just scamper off.
Your Frolic having a look up the inside of Disco Stew, just thinking
Showing
better
the
of it.
nose.
Oh,
but
Stew
Disco
got a very
Stew,
good run.
Evil One side by side. It reverts back into a single file. Will we see any heroics into turn 3? I think Hydraulic's in position.
Oh, they both
Ooh.
pull out at the same time. Your Frolic thinks better, goes back to the racing line. Oh,
Ooh,
Touchy with
Touch-
a late move to the inside.
So that's 3 wide, and that's a 2-for-1 deal for Untouchables.
You know, Touchy loves a good deal. Got the new headset this week as well. Feeling good in this wet race by the looks of it. Up into 5th now.
And Mackajack has a good run on Broken Spoke at 9th. And I don't know what's going on with Queensland Devil. I'm not sure if he's able to hang on to this big train.
Yeah, Devil looks to be struggling in the wet quite a bit here. But it looks like everyone's starting to settle down in the mid-pack, so we might check in with our race leader currently, being Cyclone Dan, who is 2.5 seconds clear of Riptop, absolutely streaming away at the front of the field.
Wow,
as
and
Riptop
yeah.
in second with a second gap over Jonesy. Jonesy with 1.6 seconds back to Evil One. Oh, Touchy's gone around! Touchy has gone around
Oh
on
no!
the start of Sector 3, and he is down to last place there. I don't know if we're able to get a replay of that one there.
Yeah, I'll go for a
missed that
replay
one.
on that one.
Yeah, I missed that one too, unfortunately.
Where is he on the track? Yeah.
He's dead
currently
last.
last.
Oh. Yeah, just coming out of
Sweeping left.
yeah, sweeping left, and he just spun it. And he took a long time to get going again.
Yeah, a little aggressive on that loud pedal. And we'll rejoin the action down in 8th as Bozza, Mackajack and Queensland Devil are having a nice battle here on the run up to turn 2 and 3. Macca had a look down the inside of Bozza into turn 1 and nothing was happening, but now the prime overtaking opportunity here. He does pull out into the braking
Wow.
zone. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though.
Yeah, but it's also a defense against Queensland Devil, can be said, and that allows Smurf and Gipman to join this group as well.
Smurf has had an incredible recovery drive to this point as well to make up for that early woes.
Yeah, he has.
To make
Yeah,
up,
like-
I believe it was about 3 seconds that he's made up in 2 laps time. So Smurf with some really good pace here. I'm excited to see what he can do in the next couple races.
Yeah, because Queensland Devils previous lap 153.9, Smurf's previous lap 151 flat.
So Smurf not waiting around for anybody.
Well,
The
Bozza
front
and
of the field is
Macca,
still
are they
very
side by
smooth.
side?
They are side by side. Macca's sending it up the inside of this sweeping left. Does turn into the outside, so Bozza will take the inside for the next corner. Oh, it looks like
Oh.
Macca's got to run. They're getting loose on corner exit. Devil's
Yep.
trying to follow Macca through as well.
Bozza lifted,
And
tried to
sweeps across
keep the
to
car in
inside.
check. Oh, I believe there's a bit of a contact between Devil and Macca, but nothing major.
I don't know how they've avoided some chaos there. Macca's
Macca went
wide.
wide,
Ooh.
he went wide, and that allows Queensland Devil to go through.
Will Bozza get the run on him into turn one as well? It's looking likely. Pulls alongside. He has already got his nose in front as we approach the braking zone as well. Trying to follow Queensland Devil through. Very close to being up the inside of Queensland Devil there as well. Devil
Queensland
in
Devil.
the big slide. We know
Having
he
a
loves the
drifting
party and he's very
showcase.
much showing that right now.
Yeah, now
Side by
Bozza's
side.
leading a slipstream train. Can Queensland Devil defend against Bozza?
This could be a bit
Oh,
of
it's
chaos
2 by
here.
2?
They're 2 by 2.
Oh, Smurf almost made it 3 wide.
Devil looking to hold that spot. Smurf looking to follow Devil up the inside of Maccajack, not getting the run. Hitman looking for the cutback on Smurf as well in the background, so this pack is not giving up anytime soon. Smurf swerving, trying to find a space to go. Ooh, Macca's dipped a tyre in the grass there as well. Very, very lucky to hold on to that one. Ooh, Bozza's gone deep.
Bozza, yep, overshot his braking. And that puts him in 12th place. Oh, and Touchy. Touchy is back in the mix.
Yeah, could salvage a couple of spots after that big spin we saw. But Devil very wide in the infield section here. That's going to open the door for Maccajack to slip on up the inside. Smurf might have a look here as well. No, tucks back in. Devil needs to keep it
Devil
very
gives
tight
a
through
bit
this
of a
left
bump
hand here.
to Macca, saying, hey, let's go, let's hurry up.
Yep, and we'll stay with this pack, but just an update on the leaders. Cyclone Dan's only pulling away, and there is more than a second gap between every car ahead of this pack, so the guys at the front really just streaming away.
Yeah, it's settling down. And can I just ask, like, what's the rate of Cyclone Dan's, like, pulling away? Okay.
Well, last time around, Cyclone Dan did a 49.5, our fastest lap of the race, and Ripdoc did a 49.8, so he's pulling about 3 to 4 tenths a lap on Ripdoc.
Yeah, that is a monster drive from Cyclone Dan so far, as this is already the penultimate lap. Wow, time flies.
Something to keep an eye on here. P5, Disco Stew and Euhrolic have closed up on each other very much. Euhrolic had a little look up the inside there into turn 3. So that gap was over a second when we first started talking about the leaders, and that has closed up very, very quickly, and Evil One has lost some time to them as well.
Yeah, so something must have happened, like someone made a mistake, probably somewhere. Because I'm currently staying with the battle for 8th place. It's getting really crowded. Now that Touchables may be within... Oh, something must have happened to Bozza. Because he's now plumb lost.
Went deep into turn 4.
He went deep into turn 4. But I think something else must have happened. Because I don't think like going wide into turn 4 is enough to put him in plumb last.
Frolic looking, he's not too aggressive here on the rear end.
Whoa! I just saw a moment from Gimpman. He almost spun his car but held it together. He is currently sitting 12th place now. Oh, I also saw Touchy doing a drifting display.
Devil was doing one as well. He's lost out big to Smurf and Macca there, who now take that battle for 8th to a 2-car battle as we approach the last corner of lap 5. Macca's run a little wide again too. Smurf's got on the power very nicely, could snatch up 8th place here.
Yeah, so Smurf now has the momentum coming into turn 1. Is he gonna outbrake Macca? Let's see what happens. Okay, now Smurf is ahead. Give Macca the space, and yes, Smurf takes 8th place.
Yep, Yep, Smurf does claim that 8th place, and he's got enough for a run. I don't think Matt is going to be able to come back at him here.
So right now, I
He's
think
gonna
there are
have a
two
look.
battles brewing. The battle for 5th is also not over. Oh, let's see. Oh, I just saw Untouchables salvage something. He's currently in 10th.
Yep, just took that spot off of Queensland Devil into turn 3 there. Macca's still looking very aggressive on the rear end of Smurf, and he's up the inside, but that turns to the outside as they enter the infield section here. Smurf's going to sweep across and confirm that spot again.
Oh, Macca showing the nose.
But while they battle it out, we'll jump up to the lead with Cyclone Dan, who hasn't been able to pull any more time on Ripdoc, but is going to claim the race 1 victory after an incredible drive every lap in the 49s so far. He's going to sweep across and take the checkered flag.
Can you confirm?
there.
Oh, just hit a 150 in the final lap.
Ripdoc's going to take 2nd. Jonesy's going to claim 3rd. Evil One is going to take 4th. Disco Stew is going to lose out to Euthrolic in that battle for 5th.
7.
Right.
And who's going to take 8th place? It looks like Smurf is confirmed to take that spot, followed by Mac Jack and Untouchables in 10th. After that, Spin, Queensland Devil in 11th, Gitman 12th, and unfortunate 13th place for Bozza.
Yeah, that was rough for Bozza, not happy there, wiggling the car about. But great race there from Cyclone Dan, leading start to finish after putting it on pole. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
It's a dominant performance from Cyclone Dan. A grand slam for race 1. Led every single lap, pole position, and have take the fastest lap.
Yep, and apologies for not showing Cyclone Dan's domination at the front of the field much there during stream, but there was a lot of action going on in the mid-pack, so but that's a huge victory for Cyclone Dan. Really starting to show some form in the league after a couple of rounds.
So, we're off to race 2. It's in the drive, so our drivers here have to readjust their braking points and their grip levels.
Yeah, very much so. You're going to see everyone braking a whole lot later. A lot more confidence in the car as well. The lap times will absolutely plummet. Reverse grid too, which always adds a little bit of spice into the mix.
Yeah, always interesting to see the fast drivers cut through the field as far as they can.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough task for the likes of Dan, Ripdoc and Jonesy, those top 3 finishers, to be able to work their way through the field here, back up to the front, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, and also seeing a lot of love for Cyclone Dan from his fellow OGR teammates, so shout out there to the chat.
Yeah, the OGR cheer squad showing up tonight. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, man, as usual, in the chats we have Mrs. Stefko, so shout out to her and DJ himself. I also want to give a quick shout out to DJ's third woman, Rias. If he knows. If you know, you know.
But, yeah, before we lead into race 2, do have a couple of sponsors that we would love to mention really quickly. So we'll give a big thank you to our sponsors who have been on board with us this season, those being Brisbane Insurance Brokers. They've been recognised as the best in commercial and industrial insurance. They can help with all manner of general insurance needs, including your personal insurances for your home and car. If you want to find out more about them, it's brisbaneinsurancebrokers.com.au. And another big thank you to racers who have been on board with us and have helped us really kick this streaming thing off. They've been supporting motorsports events in southeast Queensland, grassroots to professional level. And if you want to find out more about them or get in contact, check them out at races.world. And I believe we have some advertisements to run for you beautiful people to see as well. Yeah, so big thank you to Next Level as well for staying on board with us. And we should be getting underway with race 2 shortly as well. 6 laps, just a straight out sprint race. It should be a lot of action, and be very interesting to see some of the faster guys try and work their way through the field as it kicks off.
100%. I think our drivers are already warmed up, acclimatized to the new braking points. And just a side note, Dragon, you don't need to remind our drivers to switch to soft tires.
I just didn't want anyone running around on the wets. It's happened in the past, and there was a big thing about it, so I'm trying to make sure we can avoid that happening again.
It is good for entertainment, but not good for racing, which we always love to see in wheel to wheel. Alright, who are we gonna jump on board with?
I gotta go with Touchy. Touchy out of 4th, starting towards the front row of the grid.
4th place is the spot here for tonight, as they are out of the line, and let's see if there are any bad starts. No, I think it's an equal start throughout the entire field.
Yeah, looks like most of the field's just trying to get themselves sorted as we come into turn 1. They're 2 by 2
Queensland
on the
Devil.
lead.
Queensland Devil.
Devil's going to try and follow Gimpman up the inside into turn 3 as well. As we come down through the sweeping left into the braking zone, he's looking
So
to
it's
send
3
it
wide. But tucks back in.
Gimpman's he's taken that corner beautifully and is well and truly out in the lead now. Devil side by side with Bozza and Touchy trying to follow Devil through. Devil will have the inside for the next corner as well.
Yeah, but Bozza also has a split strain from Gimpman. I think it's going to be 3 wide into turn 4. No.
Touchy sends it up the inside, takes that spot off of Devil.
Yeah,
Looking to make
MacJack
up for that
sends it
first
to
race.
the inside of Smurf in the background as well.
Yep, that battle for 5th is going to be another hot spot as some of the fast drivers try and make their way through. Mac is sweeping around the outside of Smurf very nicely there. Yathrolic looks to be hung out to dry in the background as well, but slots back in, single file as we come through the infield here.
Yeah, Macca just literally throwing the car into the corner.
Everyone looks to be line astern for the most part, but that midfield battle is going to heat up for sure.
Yeah, Yathrolic showing the nose. I think there's contact.
Slight bit of contact in the rear row.
Oh, big contact.
Smurf hit 3 wide as well on corner exit. Smurf is going to lose out huge as Disco Stew flies by. Jonesy's going to follow them through.
And I think Queensland Devil got a penalty somewhere. He's just burning it off.
A little bit of chaos.
Oh.
Smurf up the inside of Stew. It's turning into a bit of chaos here.
I will admit that's a bit of a late move from Smurf, especially inside the braking zone.
Yeah, it looked a little wild, but back up towards the front of this pack, Jonesy going defensive. It looks like in the background I can see Cyclone Dan pulling out to look for a move. Smurf trying to go up the inside of Broken Spoke as well, so they are looking for moves left, right, and centre.
Oh, now we have a 2x2 coming into turn 4. Smurf and your mom, Broken Spoke, Disco Stew, and Cyclone Dan. Will Ripdog join in the front, make it 3 wide? No, it's still 2x2. And they revert back into single file. Cyclone
Dan's got a very
Dan.
nice run out of that. He's going to make the move on Stew, which is tough to do, but they're going to slot back into single file as we enter the infield. Evil One had a little look up the inside of Ripdog just behind them to try and get out of that last place, but not happening for him.
Yeah, there was a bit of a contact involved. Again, nothing major.
As we stream on through to the last section of corners of the lap, Queensland Devil looking to hold off Jonesy for that 6th place, and that battle for 4th is just up ahead, so a couple of good laps and he can be right there in that as well.
Yeah.
Like Broken Spoke ran quite wide in the background too.
Just
Very lucky
playing.
not to get a
Oh,
penalty there.
yep,
It
but
is.
he got a penalty. He played with the track limits too much.
That battle for 6th as well. Jonesy's got his nose in front of Queensland Devil. Devil gave up that spot pretty easily as well.
Endeavour maybe try for a reply move into turn 3. As I just saw Cyclone Dan and Smurf side by side for
Yep,
8th
Cyclone
place.
for the most part ahead. Smurf would have to do something amazing under brakes here to hold it around the outside.
Maybe have a good
Little bit of
exit.
door bagging on the
couldn't
middle
hold,
of the corner. But
couldn't hold on to it.
beautiful move from Cyclone Dan, now up to 8. So up 5 spots already, really showing their pace here. Smurf could have a look back at him into turn 4 here. It's not going to happen. Just go Stu in the background going semi-defensive, but nothing happening there either. Ooh, something to take note of. Back in the battle for the lead. So Hitman just dipped a tyre on the Astro under braking, and Touchy is close right up onto him, and Bosworth is only half a second back as well.
Well, so the battle for the podium is far from over here, folks. And top 3 is probably comfortable. And the gap from between Bozza and Eutrolic is like 2.5 seconds. So if they played right, as I saw Untouchables go wide, if they played right, they're gonna have a comfortable battle.
And there's a 1 second penalty for Touchy. Jumps straight on those anchors to get rid of it, and he is now going to be in that battle. That battle for 4th is turning into a battle for 3rd. And Eutrolic is closing at a rapid amount of pace. Up the inside he goes into turn 1. Touchy later on the brakes around the outside.
Wow! Good defense there from Touchy.
Very well done from Touchy. He can carry the extra speed down this very long straight now as well. Oh, that is
really close.
That penalty, but that was an amazing move to hold that around the outside from Touchy.
Really close. And look at that. Fastest laps currently owned by Jonesy, 1:36.967. Although I expect that to plummet as we progress into the race.
Yeah, there's going to be some quick times out of here once a couple of guys get into some clean air. One of those being Cyclone Dan, who's got 1.3 seconds ahead of him of clean air. Has now made the move up into 7th, so has a bit of catching to do, but can definitely make something out of this.
Yeah, talking about Cyclone Dan, I was also watching the battle for 9th between Ripdog and Disco Stew. I don't know how many corners they've been side by side with. And they're still side by side in the infield. Oh my goodness. So if they keep this up...
I think Devil would have had that move there, but Stu received a little bit of a bump from Broken Spoke, who sent him a little deeper into the braking zone to actually hold that spot. So quite lucky. Contact made as we come into the last 2 corners here. Devil having a half a look up the inside, more contact made. So Disco Stu's going to need a little bit of bumper budget from his team at this rate. Queensland Devil pulling, Ripdog, apologies, pulling out alongside Queensland Devils in the background there. Side by side as we enter turn 1. Stu not quite able to hold it around the outside, and the door is open for Broken Spoke as well.
I saw a penalty up front. Oh, it's Smurf. Probably the turn 1 penalty.
Unlucky for Smurf, but that's another spot for Cyclone Dan as well, who set his fastest lap of the race last time around. Just a 10th off of the fastest lap of the race, been set by Gimpman as well.
1:36.948.
I don't know what Hitman's done, but he has found some pace that last lap and is now boogieing out in the lead with a 1.9 second gap over Bozza now since Touchy's dropped off.
And it's already the penultimate lap. Wow, time does fly when there's a lot of action going on here.
These sprint races go by so quickly. But that battle for 4th is still very hot for contention. Eutrolic, Mackajack and Jonesy.
Yeah, they're virtually bumper to bumper.
I gotta say, I've been very impressed with how much Mackajack has improved this season. They've found a lot more pace. I'm not sure if it's been a change of equipment or just putting some more time in, but they've done amazing. And to give them more credit, their Group 3 car is the Mustang, which we all know is a tank and is very thirsty. As he hits a run up the inside of Eutrolic on the start-finish. Eutrolic got a penalty as well.
Yeah, wide at the exit of turn 10, I assume. As Jonesy looks up the inside of Mackajack, but Mackajack swings it around the outside to defend. Wow, yep. Brilliant driving here from Mackajack.
Yeah, and because of that penalty, Cyclone Dan has moved up. Oh, back at the front of the field, Touchy has picked up yet another penalty.
Yeah, turn 1.
Turn 1. Jonesy thought about going up the inside of Macca again, but...
Yeah, so unless anything happens at the front that probably third place confirmed there for Tachi. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the commentator's curse locked in.
We love a bit of the commentators' curse around here. Not the drivers, but us in the comms box enjoy it quite a bit. I don't know if Cyclone Dan's going to be able to get better than 6th, but that is a massive effort to make your way through half of the field in a reverse
It is a
sprint
massive
race.
effort. 7 places gained in a space of 6 laps. That's amazing.
That is a huge effort. I don't know if he's going to be able to battle Jonesy for 5th at this rate unless he can nail this 3rd sector, but you know, a penalty could happen, so there could be more in it. You just keep pushing on, but we will jump up into the lead with Gitman here.
Gitman.
And that 69 machine approaching the final corner. It's been an absolute class, led from start to finish, has the Gimp. And a 36.2 came out of Touchy at some point there, but Gitman is going to take the win.
Let's go,
Horse is going to
Gitman.
take 2nd. Touchy's coming across the
Oh, it's a
lane,
close for 4th, and Magachak takes it.
Cyclone
6th for Cyclone Dan.
Take us through.
Oh, I think I saw a late penalty there from Broken Spoke. Queensland Devil takes 12th, and Evo 1 rounds up the field.
Go. So, definitely one to watch being Cyclone Dan for race 3 with the pace, but Gitman, I mean, with it being a 40-minute race, you've got a lot more time to work through the field, but also a lot more time that you can make mistakes, so...
And not to mention strategy being involved. So what can we expect here? Are our drivers gonna run long on softs or on the mediums?
Yeah, I saw a couple of different strategies in the top split race earlier. I heard someone even ran 17 laps on a set of softs. So
That'll be
I don't
none
know if
other.
we will
That'll
see
be none
that.
other than Oil in My Blood. Also,
the
big
tyre
shout out
with
to
it.
him. That's a really monumental effort.
But yeah, I'm expecting to see usually around kind of 12 to 13 laps on either set of tyre. You know, that could stretch a lap or two either way, but it's somewhere around that kind of half and half split, I would say.
Yeah, and also, you'll be surprised at how long the softs last around here.
Yeah, the softs hold up really well with the a majority of the track being very long straights into heavy braking zones. You're not turning and braking a whole lot except for in that infield section. So
Yeah, that's where the sweeping corners are, but apart from that, it's perfectly straightforward. Heavy braking and then heavy acceleration. So yeah, not a lot of stress put to the tires.
yeah, so them softs, I would expect them to stay in the kind of mid to high 36s for a majority of their first laps, and then slowly drift into the low to mid
Low
37s.
37s,
towards the end.
yes.
And I would expect kind of the mid to low 37s out of the mediums as well. So there's not a lot of time difference between the two tyres either.
No, so yeah, the tires, they're both virtually close in pace. So it's up to the drivers to make the difference. How well can they conserve them and how well they can save up fuel.
Yeah, fuel saving can take a massive role. It played a big part in my race earlier as well, where I was racing against Showman, who's just recently come back to racing in the league, and they had the same amount of fuel as me, but pitted an entire lap later. So that ended up costing me about 2 seconds, and any chance at winning was out the window there. So.
Yeah, so the pit lane can be the make or break for the race results.
Absolutely. And before we do get into our final race of the night, we do have another couple of sponsors to thank. So a big thank you to a new sponsor jumping on board with us, being Jade Equipment Finance. Apologies. They are a commercial lending specialist who look after new and used lending for all plant and machinery for all types of industries. So if you need any help with that type of stuff, please contact them at jadeequipmentfinance.com.au or by phone on 1300 00 003. And I believe we have another ad to show you beautiful people, so we'll see you at the end of that.
We have the futures there.
Awesome. So yeah, big thank you to Future for staying on board with us for yet another season as well, and big thank you for Jade Equipment Finance for becoming a new sponsor this season. Very much appreciate all of our sponsors jumping on board and supporting our league.
Lovely to see that. So, are we gonna kick off race 3 soon?
Yeah, we've got about a minute before kickoff, so give them a little bit more time to get settled in on them medium tyres, which I'm very interested to see how many people opt for those medium tyres off the start, considering they're not that far off the softs.
Yeah, well, let's find out. Now, I'm currently seeing Evil One, Bozza, Smurf, Ripdog, Untouchables on mediums, Magajack on mediums, Gimpman on mediums, Jonesy on mediums, Cyclone Dan on mediums, and Eutrolic is on mediums. If my math is correct, that's 10 people on mediums?
So not too many opting for the softs there. Soft runners being, was that Broken Spoke,
I believe-
Disco Stew, and Devil.
So
I'm
on,
assuming
yep.
they'll be starting towards the front, if I remember correctly. Devil will be starting on the front row, Broken Spoke, and Disco Stew on the second row, so...
Yeah, so our top three starting on softs being Evil One, Queensland Devil, and Broken Spoke. Oh wait. Or have I got that wrong?
I believe Evil One is on the mediums.
Oh yeah, Evil One's on mediums. Apologies there.
Alright. Get this final race of the night going. 40 minutes, 25 laps, 2 tyre compounds, and 13 angry drivers who want to make up for their mistakes in the last 2 races.
Let's get this started. So we've had 6 laps of high action in the wet, another 6 laps of action in the dry. Let's hope for a final race full of action here. 25 laps around Red Bull Ring. Let's go.
And I'm thinking we jump on with any of the guys on the second row, starting on that soft tyre, being Broken Spoke or Disco Stew, as I'm assuming they'll get the better launch off the line here. Get all the cars
Lights out.
bouncing off the
Way.
limiter. Evil One with a
Evil
very,
One,
very
really bad.
slow.
Not getting the best of reaction times. That allows Queensland Devil to jump into the lead.
Yep, and our top 3 being our soft runners now, so that door is well open for them to stream off into the distance, unless Ripdog and Smurf can have something to say about it. Back in the field, Cyclone Dan battling with Evil One in 7th as well. As we approach turn 3, Eutrolic looking to make it
making it 3 wide.
Thinking better of it. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Oh,
made there on the
sideways
apex.
exit from Cyclone Dan.
And it looks like one of the 13R cars are trying to make a move back in the field as well. I believe that might be Jonesy pulling out.
Yes, it is Jonesy. Ooh,
Touchy.
Untouchables! Wow!
There's a man possessed right now in that Frosted Flakes machine. Evil One is off in the dirt as well, so that might be another position for Touchy. And Eutrolic as they carve their way through the field. Touchy not waiting around at all.
So that's another 2-in-1 deal for Touchy.
That was a big move there. I thought that was going to end in a bit of disaster, but he's done well to avoid that and take the move, take the positions cleanly. And if I'm in Eutrolic's seat right now, I am terrified of that Frosted Flakes machine beside me now, not behind, as he goes up the inside.
Oh,
into
bit of
turn
contact!
9, leaning on him a little bit as they come through the corner, still up the inside, and he clears him through the final corner. So, Touchy...
Oh, Eutrolic showing the lights. I don't think he's pleased, but what? Yeah, there's a lot of contact. Wow. Relax there.
Evil One tried to pull out, had nowhere to go. Touchy looking to sweep around the outside again and does it. Ooh, he's right on the edge of the track limits there, but he's done well.
If he escapes penalty, he must be like half a pixel on the limit. And
Touchy.
yes, he has escaped the track limit penalty. He's
Absolutely
really lucky.
possessed. If we jump back up into 3rd place, we've got the flat out racing guys side by side on the exit of turn 3 as well.
Oh, this is good action, but is this a really good idea for the team game?
It's a terrible idea for the team game, being that Queensland Devils on that softer tyre and Ripdoc has just swept by them. But I'm thinking maybe Queensland Devils either not a fan of the Red Bull Ring or hasn't had a lot of practice this time around. He did go for a little bit of a nudge on Ripdoc rather than pulling out there. So maybe thinking better of it and trying to settle in nicely. But Broken Smoke and Disco Stew now out to a 1.3 second gap over those two.
Yeah, they're just scampering off right now. So expect an early fastest lap from these two drivers, Broken Spoke and Disco Stew. As Broken Spoke runs up the final corner, doesn't run wide as the driver should. Comes to the finish line, and let's see the fastest lap being early. Oh, it's actually Disco Stew.
Snatching it from him as they come through there with a 37.233. And Queensland Devil can come under threat from Smurf here. Smurf looking like he's got some amazing pace on these medium tyres.
Yeah, Queensland Devil not having a really good time here around Red Bull Ring.
It's definitely a tricky one sometimes. It can really go either way. I think
Queensland
Untouchables might have had a penalty or made a slight mistake because he's lost a spot to Hydraulic somewhere along the way there.
I think he's made a mistake somewhere.
But Untouchables and Hydraulic now in the slipstream of Cyclone Dan in 6th place, who's lost touch with Smurf and those other lead runners at the moment. So we're looking to close up that gap over the next couple laps, but also really want to save a bit of fuel and protect your tyres when you're running along like this.
Yeah, I'm currently watching Smurf, and I can see him short shifting, so he is saving fuel.
And that's also quite scary. On the medium tyre, saving fuel and running very similar pace to the front runners.
I just saw Smurf almost off the track limits, just on it.
Smurf is another driver that has massively improved over the last couple of seasons. Used to be a mainstay in the mid-pack of about Split 3. He's made a lot of improvements to his racing and his racecraft, and is now a regular up in Div 2. So very impressed by the improvements from Smurf in recent rounds and recent seasons as well.
Oh, I also see Smurf like opening up turn 1 really wide. He actually used the AstroTurf. And I noticed that not a lot of drivers use the AstroTurf coming into turn 1 to open it up. It is risky though, because the tires may be a bit dirty and the exit can be a bit sketchy. And if you get it wrong, that's a guaranteed 1 second penalty.
You can also play games with your ABS as well. When you're bouncing along the AstroTurf, it can make your ABS it makes it want to not lock up, so you get less braking pressure sometimes.
Wow. Smurf was probably looking to swing it around the outside of Queensland Devil coming to turn 4, I just saw.
We've also got a pretty heated battle just behind them, really starting to form as Hydraulic and Touch here gaining on Cyclone Dan.
I will say this, Cyclone Dan is currently using more fuel than Smurf. In fact, Cyclone Dan has used more fuel than Hydraulic and Untouchables.
Touchy's fuel is actually looking probably the best throughout the field that I can find, actually. So really setting himself up in a good spot here for the later half of the race.
Yeah, so Untouchables playing the long game here. Still got plenty of laps to go, so anything can happen.
Really starting to close up on that rear end of Cyclone Dan though.
Oh, the gap under 3/10 now coming into turn 1.
Ooh, Dan
virtually bumping a bumper. Probably contact there, giving Cyclone Dan a bump.
Yep, Cyclone Dan hit the brake a little bit mid-corner, maybe carrying more speed than intended, and giving him a big old shunt out of the corner, so that got rid of a lot of Hydraulic's momentum. As we approach turn 3 here, closing up very much.
He was a bit sketchy in the corner entry.
Yeah, I saw riding on that on the curbing on the AstroTurf as well. Dangerous game to be playing, but
It is really dangerous. Ooh, Cyclone Dan opening up the corner again, using the curbs.
using a
He
lot
is
of it
playing-
too, and your Frolic is getting right up onto that rear bumper under braking as well.
Yeah, Cyclone Dan
Very
probably
interested to
toying
find
with
out
the
what
track.
the brake bias are for both of these guys, because your Frolic looks so much better under braking. I would assume that they have a more forward bias.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't see that.
Yeah, it would be very good information to have. Hopefully, chuck that in the hopes and dreams box for GT7 next year.
100%. Like, spectators can see the MFD of our races, and we can control it, and it doesn't give any changes to the drivers. And also, if anyone watching the stream while racing, that's also useful information.
It is. We do give away a fair bit of strategy, so if any of the drivers do have the sound coming through, they'll know a lot more than others that won't.
Yep, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the wheel-to-wheel top tip of the night.
So it looks like everyone's fairly settled in. We'll jump up to the leaders, being Broken Spoke and Disco Stew. I haven't seen Stew looking for any moves recently.
Yeah, I think
But-
Disco Stew is just happy to follow Broken Spoke. Save a bit of tire and fuel.
Stu has been putting in some fast laps the last times around though, so about 3/10 faster on lap 4 and about half a second faster last lap, so Stu's really starting to close that gap. That battle for third as well, being Ripdoc, Queensland Devil and Smurf, still staying the same. Not many changes, they're just driving around with each other, kind of settling into the race at this point.
Oh, but get this, Queensland Devil on softs, he set a personal best of 137.2 last lap. Smurf also set a personal best of 137.3, and he's on mediums.
Smurf's medium pace is quite impressive at the moment.
And I don't think Cyclone Dan is gaining on Smurf that much.
Cyclone Dan with a PB of a 37.7 last time around, so about 4/10 slower than Smurf. Struggling a little on that medium tyre, apologies. But he's also had Frolic to contest with, and Touchy has tagged back along onto the back of that pack. So all these three drivers here, 6th, 7th, 8th, lapping in the mid to high 37s on the mediums, with about, I would say, about 5 to 6 laps to go on them before you want to start considering a bit.
Yep. Oh, something must have happened to Disco Stew. He's currently 3 seconds behind Broken Spoke.
That's something huge.
That is something,
So
maybe a
that's,
penalty.
That's massive. That was only about a 6-10 gap.
Yeah, now it's 3 seconds.
Luckily, has avoided giving the slipstream to the cars behind, being medium runners, which would be absolutely crucial
Disaster. Oh, Queensland Devil wide at turn 4.
for them. I wasn't sure if that was due to contact. Oh, Dan in 6th place has run very wide into turn 4 as well.
Yeah, I saw that in the
Frolic
background.
pounced on that opportunity. Slipped up the inside, and now Touchy hounding the rear bumper of that low and slow machine.
Virtually under the rear wing of Cyclone Dan Untouchables. As Euthrox sets a personal best for sector 2. Oh, Touchy wide at the curb of death. That may be a penalty.
So Touchy's gone with a big lift there to try and avoid it, and he's got the penalty anyway. Oh, here comes Evil One. Oh, that was a bit of a precarious position there, but that drops Touchy back to 9th and
It
leaves Dan and Euthrox to battle between themselves.
Could be worse. Oh, I saw Bossa wide at the exit of turn 10.
Yeah. Ooh,
Wow,
there's
and 2.5 seconds. That is really harsh.
That is a brutal penalty. Struggling to burn it before the braking zone of the straight and back to last. That is so unfortunate there for Bossa. They were running in about...
Untouchables, yet again, another penalty. It's penalty galore for Untouchables.
Oh, it's kind of getting to that point of the race where if you're not actively paying attention, you can very, very easily pick them up. That battle between Euthrolik and Dan, 6th and 7th, really starting to heat up. Dan had a little look up the inside into turn 3 there, and your Throlic held around the outside, showing
Cyclone
the nose
Direction,
into
yep.
turn 4.
But not enough for a big lunge.
What happened there was your Throlic went very, very deep under brakes and probably scrubbed them tyres off a little bit. So Dan's playing the mind games, making it well known that he intends on going for that pass. He's just not going to let your Throlic know when.
It's a lap 8, and looking at the tire status right now, the medium runners, their tires are doing fairly decent, not wearing them too quickly.
I would say the soft runners are in the same boat. Actually, looking at Devil Racer's softs are amazing as he picks up a 1.5 second penalty. Right as I mentioned that he's starting to improve, and now he's going to be part of that battle with your Throlic and Dan, who have been hard charging through the field. Dan looking up the inside of your Throlic coming into the corner as well.
Oh, your Throlic swinging around the outside to defend.
Dan does have the slipstream, Queensland Devil.
Oh, is it going to be a defense turn into an attack?
It
might be it.
Chosen the inside. Oh no!
I saw a penalty to Jones C. Wow, so you turn a defense into an attack.
That is very,
a bit of
well
a
done
contact. Wow.
Oh, Dan's got the run, and he's up the inside here. He's got the inside for the next corner and has an amazing run out of turn 3 there. Beautifully done. So using Queensland Devil, who's having a bit of a rough time around here, to open up that gap. You throw it very, very good under brakes though, but he's not going to be able to hold it around the outside there. Dan is going to take that spot back off him. Evil One has made their way past Queensland Devil, as has Untouchables as well. So Devil is not having a good time.
No, he's not.
Here at the moment.
He probably just wants to get it over with. Come on, get to the final lap already.
Yeah. Ooh, Devil just shoved it up the inside of Evil One.
That's probably frustration. That's probably frustration creeping in.
Oh, there's for sure a little bit of frustration going on there on that softer tyre, falling back through the field.
Ooh, so now Cyclone Dan leading the train in 5th place.
Oh, Smurf's got a penalty in 4th, so that's a 1 second penalty. That's going to close that gap from him to Dan massively.
I assume that's turn 10 exit.
It was, yes. Oh, that group is really, really starting to close up on each other. Dan, Throlic, Devil Racer, and then you've got Evil One and Touchy not far behind them. I see Hitman and Macca side by side back in 11th and 12th as well. Hitman had a rough start to the race, a couple of 140s for the first laps. Really,
and that's another penalty for Untouchables. I just saw him ghosted.
Ooh, very aggressive on the loud pedal there.
Drifting showcase.
There a bit, but we'll try and stick with this mid pack now, as it's really starting to compress as we come towards the end of what I assume will be the first stint in a couple laps time.
Yeah, at the end of lap 10. Yeah, so currently from Cyclone Dan all the way to the rear of the field. It's really bunched up, virtually bunched up.
Yeah, only a couple of seconds between them. And Cyclone Dan doing really well to hold everyone off, but Smurf and Ripdog are killing it on their medium tyres right now. I feel like Ripdog's in prime position for a win if they play their strategy right here. As
lap 10, does he come into the pits? No, he's staying out. Oh, now he's a really good information watching Ripdog. He currently has 29% of fuel.
There you go. Smurf has a fair bit more as well. I'd say at least probably 7 or 8 litres more from what I can tell on the gauge, so
yes,
the most fuel at the moment is Queensland Devil, so maybe playing that long game and using the fuel map a bit.
Maybe, but
they still have about just under half a tank.
If playing the long game, why use the softs?
Untouchables still with about, I'd say, 45% fuel as well, and setting a purple first sector, so not slowing down 11 laps into these medium tyres.
And the cars, they're also getting lighter because the fuel is already burned.
Yeah. Not as much a tyre fall off as it would be in the softs as well.
Oh, I saw a penalty in the background. I think it was
I believe that might have
Gibman.
been Gibman, yeah. Every
Oh.
time he gets close to the back of this pack, something seems to go a little bit wrong. So he really needs to get a couple of good laps in and join the back of the pack before the pit stops, and he can be in with a strong chance.
Yeah, speaking of pit stop, Bozza has already made his stop.
Ooh. Yeah, lap 10. So 10
end of
laps
lap
on the
10,
mediums,
yeah.
going for 15 on the softs.
Yeah, if the battling at the front keeps up, this can play into Bozza's hands.
Yep. I don't see... Oh, Touchy. Touchy's on his way in the pits. Jonesy
So is
following him
Jonesy?
in as well. So, first of our kind of mid-pack runners to jump in. Smurf in the pits as well, I didn't see that. But Touchy with 35% fuel, the most out of everyone who's just dove into the pits there.
And Gibman with the least amount of fuel, 21%.
Hitman's, he seems to be struggling a little bit around Red Bull, but it can be an absolutely brutal track if you're not picture perfect with it.
Yep, as the penalties have demonstrated.
Ooh, jumping up into 4th place now, Ythrolic and Cyclone Dan still battling
Yeah,
it
I
out.
just saw they're still at it.
Not playing the long game here between these two. They both think they should be the lead driver here, and they want that spot. It's opening the door for Evil One to tag onto the back.
Cyclone Dan, ooh, showing the nose again. Still not enough. As I say that, they're almost side by side. They are side by side.
There's no way
Coming
he
to
goes
the
around the
infield.
outside here. That would be incredible.
It is possible, I can't confirm, but ooh,
He thinks better
just
of it.
tucks back in. Don't want to have a repeat of Perez and Charles Leclerc earlier in the Formula 1 season.
Yeah, I didn't feel like eating my words that quickly. But does get a very good run out of the infield section here as we approach turn 9, very much alongside Ythrolic coming into the braking
Oh,
zone.
this is dangerous if they don't play it safe.
Beautifully done there. Ythrolic looking to get the cut back. It's not going to happen. So just
No.
slots back in. Evil One is
10
right there though.
10-10's not really enough for taking spot unless something really bad happens to the driver in front, as Ythrolic is in the inside line. Coming into turn 1, let's see what happens. Cyclone Dan, oh, actually no. Cyclone Dan defending around the outside. Oh, Ythrolic with a sketchy exit. Tucks
And
back
I'm
into the
sure
split
Evil One is
stream.
absolutely loving this right now.
Oh, he is loving it.
Even having a little peek up the inside coming into turn 3 here. Ythrolic having half a look on Cyclone Dan as well. And
One having a
nose
look
to
whilst
tail across the apex of the corner. Evil One taking all of the AstroTurf on exit. And Ythrolic having another look up the inside. So these guys are just
oh,
going
that's
for
a
it.
half a second penalty for Evil One for
So
taking
running a
too
little
much
too high.
AstroTurf. Yeah, I was gonna
Dan
say,
and
the,
Ythrolic are
oh,
absolutely throwing
Cyclone
it down
Dan
right now.
is now through, but looking at the front left tires of Cyclone Dan, they're not looking good compared to Ythrolic.
Yeah, they are looking
So is the
slightly
fuel.
worse.
Yeah, so is the fuel level.
So if Ythrolic can stick with Dan here, I think he'll be able to jump him in the pits. But we saw Dan's pace on the softs earlier, and it is alarming.
It is
So
monstrous.
we'll see if anyone decides to pit. Our 3 front runners have passed by the pit lane, so no
Saw
change
someone
there.
in the
Ooh,
pits,
some
I think-
contact made there.
Ripped off into the pits. Wow, 8% of fuel left.
Absolutely pushing.
Yeah,
And
clearly
Disco
no
Stew's
fuel
got about the
saving.
same as well. Oh, there you go. Evil One and Maccajack both in as well. Evil One 8% fuel, Maccajack 20.
Yeah.
So, or 19. Apologies.
Macjack's gonna gain. Macjack's gonna gain on them.
So I'm very interested. I'm going to keep my eye on Untouchables here, who I believe is our current leader of the cars who have pitted on them fresh softs. I'm expecting him to be able to jump these guys with the undercut that he did, hitting at the end of lap 11. That's 2 very quick soft laps that he's been able to smash out while these guys have been on them old medium tyres.
Followed by Smurf, and wow, Smurf with a new fastest lap, 1:36.234.
Only beating Untouchables lap time by 0.03 of a second there. Touchy wide.
Amazing.
Oh, they might both get a
Oh,
penalty
so
there,
is
and
Smurf.
they've emerged right beside Ripdoc. Touchy's going to take that spot with the overspeed, but
Oh,
there's
that's
half
a-
a second penalty.
the half-second penalty. Oh, they got it
For
tandem.
both. Yep. Oh, Touchy trying to pull to the inside to burn that penalty. Bit of a wild move out of Touchy
Oh,
there.
what are you doing, Touchy? That allows Smurf to look up the inside.
And we know Smurf is definitely one to go for a gap when he sees one, so it's a dangerous thing to be doing. He does have a run as well, but Touchy has a bit of slipstream. It's not going to be enough for him to cover off Smurf though, so Smurf is going to be up the inside here.
Yeah. As Broken
Broken
Spoke comes into the
Spoke
pits, so does Disco Stew.
following.
So
Dan
not a
also
fuel-saving
coming in. There's
strategy.
no way Dan is going another lap with that fuel.
There's no way. I saw his fuel meter blinking. There you go. 4% fuel left. Wow.
Hydraulic going to be our interim leader of the race here. And now I'm very interested in Ripdoc and Untouchables again to see where they emerge out of the pits in relation to these two here.
So Untouchables successfully defended against Smurf.
Did, yes. No, I believe he would have gotten the spot back actually because he broke very early and let Smurf by. So that's going to be Stu and Spoke exiting the pits already. Spoke just getting up to speed now. Stu following him out of the pit line here as Ripdoc and Touchy are coming through turn 1. So that's not as much of a gap as you would want to have to defend against some hard charging soft runners.
And I saw a half-second penalty to Smurf. Turn 1 shenanigans.
Ooh, Touchy.
Ooh, Touchy. That's an aggressive look up the inside and takes 5th place.
That was a very aggressive move, as we've seen from Touchy all of race 3, not taking any prisoners, disposing of Ripdoc and getting a move on now. So 5.4 seconds the gap from Touchy to Disco Stew, who I believe is provisionally second. We'll have to wait and see if Hydraulic comes out ahead.
Hydraulic comes into the pits. Queensland Devil going for one more lap, I think. So there you go. Hydraulic, 8% of fuel coming to the pits.
Queensland Devil's still got about 20% left.
Brilliant fuel savings. But yeah, let's jump back on with Untouchables. See where he is after the pit stop from Hydraulic.
I would be shocked if Touchy hasn't jumped Hydraulic here, being on them softer tyres for a good couple of laps now. But Hydraulic has been driving very well with Devil at the front of the field, so...
Yeah, Untouchables also has clear air, so he can have a go at the fastest lap.
That is true. He does set a 36.3 last time around, does Touchy.
And yes, he has successfully jumped Hydraulic. Should be expected.
Emerging now, so is Cyclone Dan to continue that battle. And oh my goodness, I just saw the battle pack behind them.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Bozza and Macca, they were side by side running through turn 1. That's
so
fight for the wooden spoon is really hot and heavy right now.
So Hydraulic has gained on Cyclone Dan, courtesy of the pits.
Oh, Game Man might get a penalty.
Might.
I also saw Evil One get into the rear quarter of Bozza there, so that was very close to an
Game says no. Game says
maybe
no.
going wide enough to lose that time.
Yes. And to be fair, they were battling, so it'd be ridiculous if one of them got a penalty.
Yeah, with a little bit of contact made, the game's usually a bit forgiving, but we've seen some interesting moments, I'll say.
Interesting, yes.
Some questionable calls, but Touchy,
okay,
he's
so you
absolutely reeling in Disco Stew as well, just having a quick look here at the lap times. He's pulled in about a second this lap.
Is he setting purples? No, not exactly.
See the time as he crosses the start-finish. Disco Stew with a 37.4. Touchy setting a 36.291. So
that is close.
Within a tenth of the fastest lap of the race consistently here is Touchy. So he's absolutely got a rocket up under him and is taking time out of Disco Stew.
Yeah, also with how long the soft tires last, we can expect the Touchy's lap to plummet even further as he sets a personal best in Sector 1.
Yep, and something to take in mind is Devil's still going. He has
Yeah.
taken the advice of
Oh,
Willie.
he
He's
is.
on lap 17 on the soft tyre.
He
and
is.
He honestly has enough fuel to go again.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hydraulic and Cyclone Dan are back at it again, battling for 8th. Jeez, these two can't be, they can't be separated.
And that's just the way it happens sometimes. You know, you get in a battle with them and you pit and you're like, alright, I'm done with them. I can finally race my own race. I've got some clean air.
Oh
And then
man,
they
you're
merge
back?
out, the pits are half a second up the road and you're like, well, here we go again. But I'm sure those two are absolutely loving the hard racing that they've had from each other.
Yeah. And something to point out, so I think when Hydraulic exited the pits, he was like 1 second in front of Cyclone Dan. Now they're back battling it out.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dan actually giving Hydraulic a bit of a bump as they exit the infield section there as well, so getting a very good run through the middle.
Oh, that might be a penalty for Cyclone Dan.
That very much could be. That was quite a wide run there. We'll see in just
Let's
a few
see.
seconds.
Yep,
it
there
is.
you go. 1 second penalty.
That's very unfortunate. It's going to send them right back into the battle with Gimp Man, and I believe that's Bozza.
Bozza,
He's the one
yeah.
picking up a penalty in the background too. Just confirming
It's
that last
unfortunate.
one before, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the battle's broken up by a penalty.
It is, and Devil did go again, just to point out, 18 laps on the softs now. There's no way he goes again. That fuel light is blinking. I can't see him making another lap. But
No,
18 laps, that is
he has to come in. He has to come in. But really a bold strategy here from Queensland Devil.
Yeah, and from what I noticed in my race, it's about a 36-second pit loss when I pitted halfway through. He's going to have to take on a lot less fuel. So I'm expecting him to be somewhere around that eighth or back kind of area. And speaking of, that battle for 5th between Touchy, Smurf and Jonesy. Jonesy looking up the inside of Smurf as we come through the infield here. Touchy running a little wide in that cross the place machine. Jonesy muscles the way through as Devil finally dives into the pits.
4% of fuel. That's a monumental effort.
Something's happened to Touchy. Something has happened to
maybe.
Touchy. He was in front of Ripdog. That could be a penalty, because I remember seeing the gap was 1.7 seconds to Disco Stew from Touchy.
It could be.
Now to be that far behind, we'll see
Yeah,
if the lap time here, it's already gone. He's going to be like a 140 out of Touchy here. There
Yeah,
it is.
so something must have happened. I missed it because I was watching Queensland Devil.
Oh, speaking of lap times, Ripdog last time around with a 35.9.
So
That
we're
is
into
some
the
heat coming out of
135s. We're into the 135s here, ladies and gentlemen.
And that half a tank of
No
fuel,
way!
really nice soft
Untouchables
tyres.
again! With a 1.5 second penalty. That was
He'll
an
be kicking
honest
himself.
mistake as well.
Kicking himself. He's had amazing pace around here. Love to
It was
see
an honest
a bit of
mistake.
aggression out of him as well. But
Yeah, that's what frustrates me. Making an honest mistake and still getting penalized. So yes, really interesting.
yeah, that gap between Ripdog and Disco Stew now, about a second, so very much closing that. Ripdog being our fastest car on the track at the moment as well. I tried to defend against Showman on medium tyres while he was on the softs, and I was able to hold him off for maybe 3 laps. With the pace Ripdog's running, I don't know if Disco Stew's going to be able to do that. The only saving grace might be that he can buy enough time for Broken Spoke to take the race win.
Yeah, we don't have much. We don't have to wait much longer to find out. The gap is narrowing really, really quick.
And I got to mention it again. I just jumped on board with Touchy as scrolling through the field, and he's just had to serve another penalty.
Wow. So the game just giving out untouchables like penalties, like DJ Khaled dishing out music. Another one.
Yeah,
That's
it turns out
unfortunate.
he is touchable from the stewards. apparently.
Unfortunately,
Smurf
yeah, he is
quite
touchable.
nicely here though from Jonesy. Oh, actually, I'm going to take our attention to second now. Ripdog has closed up on Disco
Wow!
Stew, sending it up the inside of turn 3. And he's got an amazing drive out with that softer tyre. That is second place for Ripdog. No fighting. to contest that out of Disco Stew.
Wow.
And 3-second gap to pull in for a chance at first there.
Is there a nitrous tank in Ripdog's car? Because that is quick.
Maybe he's taken the seat out and he's just sitting on the floor for a bit of extra weight reduction. He did go very deep in there, which does give Disco Stew another chance to come back at him, but Ripdog does have the inside.
Yeah, it was a beautiful four-wheel drift, though, I should say.
Oh, he's leaned on him a little, given just enough racing room. Ripdog's going to hold on to that spot, but that's given another half a second to Broken Spoke to work with. 5 laps to close in 3.5 seconds.
That is amazing pace from Ripdog.
Battle for 5th as well. Frolic and Jonesy side by side.
Untouchables again with a penalty. What's going on? I think he's had enough. He's had enough.
Cracked it. Yep, that's he's not having a great time out here. But we will not focus on that one, and we will keep an eye on Jonesy, who's just
another penalty for Queensland Devil. I saw him run
Smurf
wide
has
at
also
turn
got
9
another
exit.
penalty, so that's cost Smurf 4th place.
Penalties galore here tonight.
Really, as the tyres are starting to wear, you're coming towards the end of the 40-minute race, the small mistakes start to creep in, and they're really starting to show at the moment. I believe Ripdog has also just had a penalty, as through the first sector they are 1.5 seconds off.
Yeah, I think so.
They've given up that spot to Disco Stew again. So
Yeah, I think so. That's probably a turn 1 penalty.
really given Broken Spoke every chance that he could need to be able to take this race win here.
I just saw Untouchables pitting, so he's going for the fastest lap.
Yeah, we saw him do this earlier in the season. I don't remember where, but it might have been Sardinia. Possibly,
Sardinia
but,
is round 1.
I believe we saw Touchy pit to steal the purple lap. So a 35.9 is
The time
what's
to
on
beat.
the table. So very interested. We'll have to keep half an eye on that one.
Yep, so yeah, unfortunate race for Touchy, but trying to get a fastest lap, maybe salvage some bonus points, as Ripdog looks very racy on Disco Stew. Looking up the inside, coming into turn 9. I think
You're
that
not
was
going to try the inside of turn 10. Oh,
10
my goodness.
he did. I don't think Disco,
Let that happen. He was not.
he
taking
didn't put too much of a fight.
No, he's like, all right, mate, you go on ahead. 4.7 seconds the gap to make up in 4 laps.
I don't know if it's
Not
possible.
possible, but that is going to be a lot to ask for Ripdog.
That is a really big ask. As Jonesy is
Oh my
currently
goodness. The battle for 5th again is just the mid pack is the hot spot.
Oh, I was
Cyclone Dan rejoining, Smurf having a penalty, so that closed up the gap a fair bit, and Cyclone Dan and Mythroller reunited again.
Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I was gonna cycle through the field. Yeah, Eutrolic and Cyclone Dan can't be separated tonight.
Well,
Maybe
Dan
for
had
the
half
rest of the
correct
season.
outside of turn 3 there.
So currently, Makajack has more tires than Smurf, so that's a bit of an advantage.
Oh, it's not going to stop Smurf from sending it. That is.
Oh,
Ooh,
a
someone got
contact
hit.
between Maka and Eutrolic.
And Cyclone Dan takes 2 spots there because of that. I believe Eutrolic given the spot back
Yeah, so
to Makajack there, and Cyclone Dan sweeping on through.
two for 1 deal.
Oh,
Wow.
Smurf.
Smurf, probably redressing something? I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure. There, maybe Smurf felt responsible for that contact.
Maybe.
I'm not 100% sure, but Cyclone Dan has been the absolute winner out of that. He's gone from 8th to 5th in about half a lap.
So, yeah, it's not a 2 for 1, it's 3 for 1.
Yeah, Makajack looking up the inside, but Dan just sweeping across, taking away the option. And unless some massive penalties show up on the half of Broken Spoke, Ripdog has 4.5 seconds to make up. I can't see it happening.
And there you have it, another commentator's curse locked in.
We'll lock it in, Eddie. Makajack up the inside of Dan into turn 1.
Was there contact?
Made.
Yes.
Rolling with
there
a
was.
shunt on Makajack as well, which is going to give him the momentum up the inside. Eutrolic jumping into the slipstream, cutting off Smurf's nose as well. And in
It's
the
gonna
background,
be-
I see also and Devil are side by side as well. So
Oh, I thought we're gonna have 3 wide into turn 3.
Ooh, we almost do.
Oh, we
Dan
do
down
have
the
3
inside
wide.
of Makajack.
Oh, actually, no, 2 by 2.
Oh, Macca could lose out to Ythrolic here as well. How dare you separate Ythrolic and Dan there? That's not supposed to happen.
It is not legal to separate Cyclone Dan and Hydraulic in this race.
Oh, Ythrolic having a big look up the inside as well. Very narrow coming into turn 4 here.
Oh, Hydraulic and
Macca on the dirt. That was very close.
Oh, Hydraulic giving enough space for MacJack at the exit of turn 4. Don't want to get Alex Albon.
Is trying it around the outside. Smurf looking very inside and getting loose on the curbing there.
Yeah, I think Smurf's trying to hang on to them front, soft tires.
Yeah, Smurf had amazing pace on the mediums, but his soft pace has fallen off a little bit. He's found himself in a lot of battles.
Yep,
as
Macca
looking up the
looking
inside.
It is really dangerous to make a move here at these last 2 corners.
All Ythrolic wants is to be reunited with Dan, and Macca is not letting that happen. Does have a little bit of a run up the inside.
Yeah, but Macca has
gonna
a
cover him up.
slip. Gets out of the scream from
As
Cyclone Dan.
We begin the penultimate lap, 24 of 25. It has been 38 minutes of racing to this point, and these guys, 4 cars separated by less than a second.
Meanwhile, what's going on at front? Okay, Ripdog not gaining a lot on Broken Spoke. The gap is still above 4 seconds.
Ooh. Smurf has just sent it around the outside of Ythrolic. Ythrolic squeezed him on the exit though. Not giving up that spot. The leaders definitely look to be spread out a fair bit, so they are very settled in at the moment. But,
I'll say that,
Smurf again.
they're comfortable. Whoa,
That
whoa,
is
whoa,
a
whoa,
massive
whoa, that's a
send out
massive
of
send!
Smurf. Oh, he absolutely licked the stamp. That was some international packaging right there. And it looks like Ythrolic and Dan might finally be separated for good with only 1.5 laps remaining.
Yeah.
Who's that at the very back? That is Touchy, who did end up taking the fastest lap with a
1:35.6. That is monstrously quick.
That is spicy out of Untouchables, and he'll be happy to claim the fastest lap there.
That is 1:35.6. That's on level with Top Split.
That's an incredible lap there. But we are beginning our final lap of the race as we approach 40 minutes in. Cyclone Dan is going to lead Maccajack across the line, but that could change on the run up to turn 3 here. Dan again using all of the curbing, but does get a bit of a slide on through the mid-corner and on exit, and Macca has a very good run on them.
Yeah, it is risky to use the AstroTurf to open up for turn 1. So Cyclone Dan just hanging on to 5th place. Takes the defensive line, saying, Maccajack, you have to go around the outside, mate. As I also see in the background, Hydraulic up the inside on Smurf.
That's brought Forza into the battle as well, so that's turning into a 3-car battle. And there is a lot of blinking fuel gauges throughout the field right now as we come through into the second half of our final lap. Everyone running on the smell of an oily rag.
Yeah.
Ythrolic and Smurf sending it again into turn 4.
So who's gonna have fuel to spare? Who's gonna achieve target 0, and who's gonna conk out just before the line?
Oh, Dan's up the inside of Macca for 5th as well. Coming through the infield, they are both dangerously low on fuel as well.
This can catch them off guard.
We're going to have to jump up here with Broken Spoke. 4 seconds ahead of Ripdog. He's driven an amazing race, and he's going to claim the victory here. Very, very well done from Broken Spoke. Touchy waiting to finish a lap down. Ripdog is going to claim 2nd. Stu with a very well-earned 3rd place. Jonesy's going to come across the line in 4th. Dan, after all of the battling, is going to take 5th place. Maccajack is going to be right behind. Ythrolic 7th, Smurf and Bob.
Oh, unfortunate.
Oh,
Oh, unfortunate for Smurf.
Evil 1 is going to take 11th, and Gipman is running on empty, and he is going to slowly roll the
Ah, yes, he has run out of fuel.
Very much run out of fuel there. A little bit of auto drive, a little bit of what it was like salt in the wound. That's
yeah, 80 kilometers per hour. That's highway speed.
It does not look like it, but there's your results. Congratulations to Broken Spoke, Ripdog, and Disco Stew on a very well-earned podium.
And also, bonus points for Brookensburg for being the only driver in race 3 to not get a penalty.
Yeah, that is a tough ask as well. So
That is an achievement in itself.
that shows that keeping it clean really does help. But very, very well done from Brokenspike there. A couple of guys getting out of the room real quick, not willing to stick around for some post-race banter.
Nah, the penalties are too much for some of our drivers.
Yeah, you do get the red mist sometimes after getting a couple in a row. But yeah, awesome night of racing here.
Awesome.
For all 3 races. We saw absolute domination from Cyclone Dan in race 1. We saw a masterclass in race 2 and just a beautiful drive out of Brokenspike for race 3.
Yeah, action everywhere in the field. Always love to see it here in Wheel to Wheel.
Absolutely. And it's honestly what I've come to expect. But on that note, we will say a big thank you to everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you for next round. We have our 1-hour endurance race at Le Mans in the Group 3 cars, so it should be a very, very interesting race, very favourable to the likes of the Corvette and the Jag, but definitely
in an enduro,
should still be some very good racing.
Should be some surprises sprinkled there for enduros, but yeah, Group 3 around Le Mans. How iconic is that?
Absolutely. And a big thank you to you for joining me here, Chris, in the commentary box tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, Super Dragon. Thank you as well for commentating tonight.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
thanks,
much
boys.
to Hammy as well, mate. You've done amazing on the visuals tonight.
Yeah, that was a good race. Good
Yeah,
race
thank you,
instead.
Hammy.
Alrighty, and with that, we will round it up, and we hope to see you next week for Le Mans.
Yep.
Yep.
See you later, guys.
Take care.